Donald Trump's suggestion that he might try to delay the election or might not accept the result is rapidly coming to the forefront of the presidential campaign, foreshadowing a final stretch roiled not only by the coronavirus and the economy, but by clashes over the nation's most fundamental democratic norms. Though Trump has no authority to move the election, an idea he floated Thursday, Democrats are already bracing for Republican challenges to absentee ballots and to vote counting on election day. They have good cause to be prepared. The president has repeatedly raised the prospect of a rigged election and recently declined to say if he'll accept the results. Trump's rhetoric points increasingly to the possibility that he will dispute the outcome in a year marked by primary election administration meltdowns, a prospect that is highlighted by his absolute control of state and national party machinery and an attorney general who has amplified Trump's unsubstantiated claim about mail-in voting fraud. Even before he was elected president, Trump frequently made unsubstantiated assertions about widespread voter fraud. He called for a do-over after losing the Iowa caucuses to Ted Cruz in 2016, and he made claims about serious voter fraud in Virginia, New Hampshire, and California after failing to carry those states in the general election that year. But with Trump continuing to run far behind Biden in national and swing state polls, and with the election now less than 100 days away, the Republican president's rhetoric has thrust the nation that Trump might not accept the election results from the partisan fever swamps to center stage in the campaign debate. Earlier this month, in an interview with Fox News, Trump declined to say if he will accept the results of the election, saying, "I have to see." And if floating the possibility of a delay on Thursday, Trump suggested that what he was seeing so far wasn't promising. With universal mail-in voting, not absentee voting, which is good, 2020 will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history, Trump wrote on Twitter. It will be a great embarrassment to the USA. Delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote. Later in the day, Trump insisted he did not want to see the election delayed but refused to foreclose on a possibility. Do I want to see a day change? No, but I don't want to see a crooked election, he told reporters. Democrats cast Trump's tweets as an effort to distract from the release that day of dismal second quarter economic news, given his lack of power to move the election. A Democratic National Committee spokeswoman, Lily Adams, called it nothing more than a desperate attempt to distract from day's devastating economic numbers, and Biden's campaign responded to question about the tweet only with a prepared statement on the economic numbers. Coronavirus pandemic, Democrats are also fearful that the state in which the outcome is close, Trump may appeal to courts to intervene, casting a cloud over the result. Biden and the Democratic National Committee, in cooperation with state parties and advocacy groups, have lawyers and political operatives working across the battleground map and have hired voter protection directors in 20 states. One veteran of the Clinton administration who has ties to the Trump administration said, "I think we're dealing with a person who doesn't know there are boundaries."